hope to see us through these times. I believe in the here and now, you and I, your faith and mine. Well, brighter days will come, maybe so, but this I know. Today I see, I feel, I breathe, and in you I do believe. Believe in me, believe in me, believe in me. Here, believe in me now, believe in me, yes, believe in me. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Oh, well, heaven, you're a thief, and still we call you friend. You take all we love away, and we grieve and grieve again. But we let each other go, we let each other leave. What else are we to do? What are we to believe? Believe in me, please. Believe in me, please. Believe in me. Here, believe in me now. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Believe in me. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Believe in me. I put my trust in my kind. Yeah, my kind, my humankind. The skin we're in but do not own. This borrowed breath, this life on loan. And the sun, the moon, the sea. And in you I do believe. Once around the sun, these days roll into one you must never look back. Back will only slow you down you step into the stream, but the stream has been and gone like faces in a crowd you may never see again. Believe in me, believe in me, believe in me, believe in me, please. Believe in me, believe in me. Believe in me, oh, believe in me, believe in me, whoa, ho, 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 whoa, ho, ho, whoa, ho.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bowling Green. I'm very glad you're here. It may be gray outside, but it's beautiful in here. A quick reminder, as you know, I'm a gadget person, a technology person. Many of you don't know this. But here, I encourage you to silence your device so we can be present. The service is being live streamed. If this room is uncomfortable for you for any reason, there are a few other options available. The room near the door and also the fellowship hall. We are a welcoming congregation. Whoever you are, however you identify, wherever you come from, and whoever you love, you are welcome here. And I wanted to call out, like I often do when it's my turn up here, to mention that all churches say we're welcoming churches. Unitarian Universalist churches are a little different from a lot of churches. This church and many other UU churches have gone through a program to become designated as a welcoming congregation, often from the social justice program, to make sure that we are a welcoming congregation to communities such as LGBTQ communities. But also, I wanted to call out that there's a connection between this sense of welcoming and our values as Unitarian Universalists. The 8th principle, if you go to the next slide, was part of what led to the Article 2 efforts over recent years. And the 8th principle was never a UUA 8th principle. It was a movement that led to pressures to reconsider our statement of values and principles. As a result, we now have, next slide please, our values. We are a welcoming church. You are welcome here. For Unitarian Universalists, the flaming chalice is a symbol of light and learning. Silas, if you'd come up. Thanks. And also of some of the anti-oppression work throughout our history. Thank you, Silas. I'm going to read one of my favorite chalice lighting readings. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers, to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, and to serve in the spirit of love. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy. And now I'd like to ask Connie to come read our opening reading.
Good morning, everyone. We trust in the promise of this faith. We trust in the promise of this faith that we are connected in ways beyond our understanding, that our stories weave together in a great tapestry, strong enough to hold us in joy and in sorrow. Even when trust falters, the fabric remains, held by many hands, mended with care, and stitched together with love.
Thank you, Connie. When I asked Aaron if he had any requested hymns, he only had one, and that was Woyaya. 10:20. Now I would like to have you join me in a unison reading. One of the values statements from the new Article 2, generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. We'll now sing the children out. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. We'll now have a few moments for meditation, reflection, and prayer. The singing bowl will lead us into silence. After the silence, you're invited to join in the singing of Spirit of Life, number 123 in the gray hymnal. Words will also be on the screen. We've had Aarron here before, and it is a great pleasure to have him back. Aarron English, Nashville-based singer, songwriter, pianist. Aarron English tours North America and Europe, playing 200-plus concerts a year. Aarron is also the founder, director of a charity about which he spoke when he was with us last time, the International Youth Music Project, which supports music schools of orphaned and refugee children in East Africa. Highlights of Aarron's career include radio hits in Italy and the US, a song on the Fox TV drama Bones, and a US State Department-backed music tour of Pakistan. Aarron, it's a pleasure to have you back with us.
Thank you. Good morning. The UU Church's theme for March 2025 is trust. So I wrote today's message around that theme. What does trust look like in these very strange, chaotic, often divisive, often uncertain times? How and when do we choose to trust, and where does trust even come from? Wanted to start with showing up at church today. That in itself is an act of trust. Church is a place of faith, and trust is an act of faith. It isn't about knowing. It isn't about the certainty or being able to see the path ahead. It's about the walking of the path and the faith that it will get us to where we need to go. Trusting in the path, not in the destination. So this morning, in the face of our current really complex, sometimes exhausting social, environmental, political challenges, we've done a very unreasonable thing. We've shown up. And faith is an unreasonable thing, especially in trying times. And here at church or wherever else we feel we can come and our trust and faith will be welcomed, we can show up and say, I don't have the answers. I may be scared, worried, discouraged, tired, but I'm here with my questions, my curiosity, and the willingness to explore the path that's in front of us. So another word for trust or faith, therefore, might be courage. Courage to begin working towards the answers and solutions to today's challenges, each of us in our own small way. So what calls us to have this trust and be able to find faith in difficult times? What's the key? How do you turn that key and access those when you need them most? How do you turn that switch to be unreasonable and courageous and hopeful in the face of uncertainty? To try to answer that, I'm going to take you on a very roundabout journey, and I ask for your trust and faith that this adventure will eventually lead us back to the question that I started with. Several years ago, I was staying with a musician friend in Haida Gwaii, which is an island archipelago 100 kilometers off the coast of British Columbia. This is my idea of a relaxing vacation activity. Waking up at 4 a.m. to borrow ocean survival gear from the Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue Base, and then drive a boat through the narrows between the islands to harvest wakame and nori seaweed at low tide. So it's midsummer, it's August, but at this latitude, the wind off the Pacific Ocean is steady and damp and bone-chillingly cold, so here I am in my borrowed survival gear. We reached the harvesting spot. It's a well-known huge kelp forest just under the water. We tie up the boat, we jump into the water, and there's no kelp. It's all been eaten by these guys. Sea urchins, when there is no competition for them, they take over. And this area had become what locals will call an urchin barren. It's an underwater desert, picked clean of all vegetation by the urchins. The sea urchins on the Pacific coast from Alaska all the way down through California, they only have one natural enemy, and that's sea otters. And otters have been driven nearly into extinction, mostly because of the relentless hunting of them due to their very valuable fur in the 18th and 19th century, and they've never quite came back. So this has led to vast stretches of the Pacific coast becoming urchin barrens. They take over by the thousands, and there's nothing left. This is the problem. The urchins eat all the vegetation. No vegetation, no fish, no wildlife, and there are no natural enemies left to eat the urchins. Fortunately, sea otters have started to come back in parts of coastal U.S. and Canada, but there haven't been any otters in Haida Gwaii for over 100 years. So the urchins are a constant and devastating environmental problem here. So Nothing to harvest. We untie the boat and we begin the long trip back to port. Along the way, I spot something in the water and I lean over with my net to reel it in. And it turns out to be a message in a bottle. I open it and it has come from Taiwan, or at least from a Taiwanese sailor. I'm amazed and fascinated. Who sent this and why? And who do I know that can read Mandarin? And how did this bottle get all the way to Haida Gwaii? A message in a bottle represents a beautiful act of trust, of faith. It's a lot like a prayer. You offer up a prayer, or you throw a bottle into the ocean, not because you expect a reply, but because you have faith that it will be found and read or heard somewhere by someone, by the right someone. I think the idea of throwing a message in a bottle into the ocean can teach us something about living with trust and hope and courage in uncertain times, that act of faith. My very favorite message in a bottle story, true story, is the one about a young man named Jeremiah Burke, who, as he stood on the decks of the sinking Titanic, he emptied a bottle of holy water that his mother had given him before he set sail. He stuffed a farewell message into it and tossed it into the ocean as the ship was going down. A year later, the bottle washed up on the beach less than a mile from his family home in Cork, Ireland. A constable knocked on their door one day and delivered the bottle to his grieving parents. Amazing. I'm also amazed by the story of the 29,000 rubber duckies from a shipping container that fell overboard during a storm en route from Hong Kong to Tacoma in 1992. These ducks are still being found. It's great that plastic lasts a long time. It's also not great that plastic lasts a long time. They wash up on beaches all over the place. They've become a treasure hunt, and they've become a valuable science experiment for people who study the movement of ocean currents and winds. So these castaway duckies have wandered the ocean for over 30 years now. They would now like to share with all of you here today what they've learned on their long journey. They have a message for us. Are you ready to hear it? That message is, we are all connected. This is a map of where all the duckies have been found so far. Hawaii, Alaska, South America, Australia, the Pacific Northwest. Others have been found frozen in the Arctic ice. These little duckies get around. The most remarkable journeys of all were made by the handful of duckies that drifted over 17,000 miles north from the Pacific Ocean through the Arctic to the Atlantic Ocean, crossing the site where the Titanic sank, and eventually reaching the Canadian and American eastern seaboard, and even the British, Scottish, and Irish shores, approximately 15 years after they hit the water. Imagine having that kind of trust and faith. You have one very, very bad day, caught in a storm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but that's okay, because 15 years later, you will safely wash up on the shores of the Emerald Isle and be world famous. These are incredible, almost miraculous stories, the story of poor Jeremiah Burke and the duckies. And I started to wonder, what are the mathematical odds of this sort of thing happening? What are the chances of this duck arriving here and there? Or that bottle reaching his grieving parents' hometown? Fortunately, we don't have to just wonder anymore because we have ChatGPT. So I asked, hey ChatGPT, what are the mathematical odds of the doomed Jeremiah Burke throwing his message in a bottle from the deck of the sinking Titanic and having it end up on the beach just down the road from his family home? ChatGPT says, the odds of it washing up within 50 kilometers of his hometown are between 0.17 and 0.5%. Okay, so next I asked, this seems even more unlikely. Of all the rubber duckies that fell out of that shipping container in 1992, which duck had the lowest mathematical odds of washing up onto its particular beach? Like, which duck won the race? Which one got the farthest, lasted the longest, was the most improbable? So what beach was it, and what's the math on their odds? The duck that landed in Scotland in 2003, according to ChatGPT, the odds of it landing there are less than 0.1%. We live in a world surrounded by everyday wonders and everyday accidents of physics, like the journeys of these ducks, or this bottle, The stories seem so improbable, and yet they happened, and it's no wonder that therefore we believe in miracles, and kismet and serendipity and the hand of God. It's no wonder that we throw messages in bottles into the ocean. And it's no wonder that again and again we can find the faith and the courage to get us through difficult times, even when the road ahead isn't clear. There's something in us that has that instinct to throw the bottle and believe that it will find the person it needs to find. Speaking of miracles and everyday wonders, I want to zoom out for a moment. It's a little hard to see in here, but does anyone recognize this photo? It's very famous. Taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft in 1990 at the edge of our solar system, this photo is called the pale blue dot. Maybe that's just about all you can see. Right in the middle there, that's us. That dot is Earth. Everyone and everything you know, do not know, and will ever know are in this photo, in this tiny dot. That is all we have. So next, while looking at this photo, I asked, hey, ChatGPT, there are a few well-known mathematical equations that attempt to estimate the probability of us, humans, existing. What are the odds that we would exist at all here on this planet, this galaxy, in this universe? Briefly summarize these equations and give me the final odds. There are some very famous equations that set this up. What are the chances that we would be here right now? The answer, the various famous theories put the odds at us existing between 10 to the 10th power and 10 to the 24th power. I don't really know what that means. So, I asked a different question. ChatGPT, what is the gap in odds between that rubber ducky traveling 17,000 miles in 13 years and landing on the beach in Scotland, so the duck who won the race, the least likely duck, versus the odds of us humans existing at all? The odds of us existing at all are 1 sextillion times smaller than the already improbable odds of that duck landing on that beach in Scotland. I don't know what a sextillion is, not really. So, next question. ChatGPT, can you put that in context for me? Yes, the diameter of the Milky Way is approximately 1 sextillion times wider than the diameter of a single hydrogen atom. So the odds of us being alive here on Earth and this universe is that much less likely. The difference between the size of our galaxy and the size of a single atom, that much less likely than the odds of that one least likely rubber ducky out of 29,000 duckies traveling 17,000 miles to Scotland. That's how unlikely we are. Those are the infinitesimal odds of us even existing in the first place. That math and this photo, to me, underscore our insignificance in the universe, but also at the same time our significance because of how singular, miraculous, and mind-bogglingly unlikely we are. We've already overcome impossible odds just by existing. Thanks to an incredible chain of perfect accidents of physics and chemistry and astronomy over billions of years, this universe exists. Reese's peanut butter cups exist. You name it. Everything fell into place just right. And thanks to another chain of equally unlikely accidents, this planet is a perfectly hospitable place for living creatures to make their home in. There's in those mathematical equations, there's a fascinating, peculiar, uncanny, eerie harmony between the structure of the universe and the needs of life and intelligence. In other words, us. So whether it's all just a chain of accidents against impossible odds or evidence of God and some sort of divine plan, I'm not here to say for sure. But all of us are daily witnesses to such a miracle, our existence. And under such fragile circumstances, everything fell just right. So it's no wonder that we are able to be such unreasonable creatures, to find the trust, the faith, the courage, to have hope and resilience in the face of uncertainty. So this is all just a silly little ChatGPT-assisted thought exercise, inspired by that message in a bottle I found in the waters in Haida Gwaii. That message in that bottle in Haida Gwaii, by the way, turned out to be lyrics to a love song written in Mandarin. So there wasn't some Taiwanese sailor somewhere awaiting rescue on a desert island. I guess he just really liked that song and wanted to share it. I want to finish today by bringing us back to the islands of Haida. Several months after my failed, discouraging attempt at seaweed harvesting in the Urchin Barrens, a large family of sea otters, or a raft of otters as they call them, appeared in the inland waters of Haida. It's the first sea otters there in over 100 years. They had traveled over 100 kilometers of open ocean from the coastal mainland of British Columbia to these islands, and they began feasting on those Urchin Barrens. Sea otters rarely ever travel more than 1 kilometer away from shore, and their natural home range on the shore is only a few kilometers wide, and they live there year-round, so these are homebodies. What possessed this raft of sea otters to risk strong ocean winds and currents, sharks and orcas in order to travel 100 kilometers from their safe home on the coast of British Columbia to Haida? No one knows. But within 6 months of their arrival, they had eaten about 75% of the urchins within a 3-kilometer long stretch of shoreline that they had decided this is home. When biologists dove through the area only 6 months later, they were amazed. The kelp forest in that area had bounced right back. So the Haida people are Native Americans. They're First Nations people. They designed a new flag for their island. Yeah. It's an otter holding a sea urchin. Yeah. It speaks to the resilience of life and to hope and trust and faith. Because after 100 years' absence, a family of otters made an impossible return to one small area of the islands, and the balance of life was quickly restored there. So trust isn't about knowing. It isn't about certainty or being able to see the path ahead. It's throwing a message in a bottle into the ocean. It's an act of faith, just like our showing up here today. And having faith is an act of courage. We've been called to live in deeply uncertain, complicated times. So how courageous do you feel? I don't expect for myself to have today's social, environmental, and political challenges all neatly answered, but I do want for myself to begin working towards those answers in my own small way, and to trust that we will find those answers together. Whether it takes a year, or 4 years, or a lifetime, and that's okay. As frightened and uncertain as I have felt at times lately, we are already witnesses to the daily miracle of the mere fact that against all incalculable odds, we exist, we live, and we are witnesses to the astonishing resilience of life, how quickly the balance can reset itself, how quickly things can come back and flourish, however long it takes. So that's why I asked us to sing Woyaya today. Woyaya, it means we are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We don't know where we're going, but we'll know it when we get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will get there one day. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Aarron. I was grateful that Aarron reminded us of the fact that trust happens to be the theme for March for Unitarian Universalists. Thank you for that message. This congregation and the work we do, the role we play in our community, and I want to lift that up, the work we do, pointing to our being a welcoming congregation and our values. We are not a normal church, or we are unique. The work we do is special in our community. The offering you make is a sacrament of the free church. You may place your donation in the plate as it comes to you or on your screen. As we enjoy the music, the offering will be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values.
This is a song about shared hopes and values. This is called Peace Be Upon You. It's a phrase that shows up hundreds of times in the Quran, the Hebrew Bible, the Christian Bible, and is spoken thousands, if not millions, of times a day in the Middle East. So I sing that phrase in Hebrew, in Arabic, and in Aramaic. Aramaic was the language not only of Jesus of Nazareth, but also of the Syrian and many of the Iraqi refugees that have now spread Aramaic around the world over the past decade of evacuation from the war zones. I think there's a beauty to these are groups of people who are often at odds with each other and have been for thousands of years, but at the root of it, they have this phrase, peace be upon you, or peace be with you, or peace within you, however you translate it. They're united by this wish for mutual peace. This is called Peace Be Upon You. Oh, the sun is hiding over the dark horizon. No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come. Oh, the sun is hiding over the dark horizon. No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come. Arabic. Salam, salam alaikum. 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 Hoping for a storm to come, waiting on the river to rise, looking for a ladder to climb, waiting on the change of tides, hoping with a heart that's broken, looking for a door to open, listening for a song to sing, knowing that the heart is wise. Aramaic. Shlomo, Shlomo Aleichem. 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 Hope is a fragile thing. It flies on broken wings. There's no dream so lost it can't be found again. Oh, don't hold your silence. Shout it louder than silence. Shout it louder than violence. Rise on broken wings. Hebrew. Shalom, shalom aleichem. 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 Oh, the sun is hiding over the dark horizon. No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come. Oh, the sun is hiding over the dark horizon. No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come.
Thank you, Aarron. And thank you for your gifts. May we use them wisely in the service of our congregation and the community. And this morning, Rhonda will give us our final reading.
Good morning. for each and for all. To trust is to live with an open hand, to surrender the illusion of control, to risk the pain of disappointment for the sake of the joy of connection. Trust is not blind faith, nor naive optimism, nor passive resignation. It is a courageous choice to believe in the possibility of goodness despite all that we know of human frailty. To trust is to affirm that we do not walk alone, that even in our most vulnerable moments, there's a thread of love that binds us to one another. It is to risk being known, to risk being held, to risk being changed by relationship. We trust not because we are certain, but because we are willing. Willing to try again, willing to mend what has been broken, willing to lean into the mystery of hope.
We're going to have a final hymn. We sang this last week, but with a pale blue dot, how can we not sing? Thank you for singing so fully with me and us in the harmony. Because that ends the more sacred part of our gathering, I'm going to ring the bell now, the singing bowl. So now is the time for community news. Before we sign off with the folks who've joined us remotely. Today, there is a free documentary film screening of Join or Die at 6 p.m. at the Capitol. This documentary highlights a path out of the plaguing loneliness facing many Americans today and offers the solution to join a club or a church or a group in a church. After the screening, feel free to stay and speak with clubs from around Warren County. We always encourage feedback, welcome feedback, anything you can offer up to help us continue to serve you in the best way possible. I love the way today's service helped set us up for next week. There was a lot of awe being expressed, or I felt it from what was shared about the odds of things. Next week is Awe with speaker Tim McGahey. The second Sundays are at 12:15 are an opportunity to learn more about Unitarian Universalism. I encourage you to join us. I already mentioned the Join or Die. Tomorrow, end of day, is the last opportunity for donations, or signing up for bricks for the engraved bricks for the patio labyrinth. If you were here last week, you heard Forrest's plea for the Forrest Fund. It was a wonderful moment. There is still the bowl over here, or put a piano on a check if you, or on the envelope if you care to wish to do that via the regular method. We have a fun road trip. I love New Harmony coming up with the Earth Circle group, April 12th. And if you have anything else you want to help get expressed here, please send email to office@uucbg.org. Also, we have something from Linda to share.
Hi guys, good morning.
Or come on up here.
Let's stand here. Hi. Caring team would like to begin what we call a caring tree, and this is just when people let us know that something is going on in their life and they want everyone else to know. If you sign up on this piece of paper or send an email to Caring, we'll add you to the group, and then you will be notified of what is going on within the community so that you can text or call or visit that person. So you don't have to sign up for it. You can, and it's only if the person has said that they want that kind of communication. Thank you. I'll put this in the bottle. It's bright orange.
Thank you, Linda and the Caring team. We are about to bid farewell to the folks who have joined us online. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you join us in the future. A reminder for feedback, there's Sunday-services@uucbg.org. any new